beautiful friends. I'm Ashley Sunshine, and welcome to this 4/4 and Eclipse transmission I'm going to be sharing with you today. I've been through some really powerful experiences in the last couple days, and I'm getting a lot of information about what's available to us in this coming period. And many of us are feeling a lot of intensity in this recent time. And the intensity is going to get a little bit more before it starts relaxing. And so there's some really powerful things we can do and be aware of in order to move through this intensity with grace and actually really receive the gifts that are available to us, because any intense period, especially these big magical doorways like eclipse portals, are doorways to transformation. And always when we're transforming, it's intense, just like a crab has to grow into its next size shell. He has to be squeezed and squeezed and squeezed before he actually gets out of his shell and has to hide behind a rock for a full day or two before he grows his new shell. And that whole process for those like 4 days are completely painful and uncomfortable. But then afterward, he is a new size and has grown into his next level. And that's really what magical doorways of transformation are. When our world opens up to a new awareness, to a new level of consciousness, to a new level of interrelationality in our life. And so this is just an incredible and exciting time to really harness that. And for us, earth warriors, and devotees to truth, it's really powerful to step into the challenge upright with arms open wide, right? To receive the challenge that's coming towards us, as opposed to kind of coming at it from a resistance place. So it's important to see what's happening. So if you're tuning in, thank you for being here. If you're live or on the replay, it's really great to feel where you're tuning in from. So if you want to comment below, and we can feel that global web of women and men, if you're watching this on YouTube, who are committed to the journey of awakening. Okay, so I picked a few cards for us from the Wildwood Tarot deck. The first one is Swan, and this one's really about relationship. Swans mate for life, and they are devoted to grace and swimming in the right, in the direction of their hearts and in the directions of their loved ones. And that's really, really important for this 4/4 portal, is our relationships. I'm going to talk about that more in a moment. Then I got Rebirth, the Eight of Vessels, so powerful. This is completely a time of rebirth, opportunity for rebirth, if we choose that, right? And rebirth, again, it's not easy. When people come to ceremony and their intention is rebirth, I know that they're in for a challenging evening. But it always brings fruits after. And the third one I got is Jealousy. So this is the future card. And so this is like a red flag to look out for, right? Like when you know it's working, jealousy might come up. When you know that you're going to outside your comfort zone and really looking to that magical doorway and opening it up for yourself, you might start to experience jealousy. And that might mean that you are actually playing with like the big guys, the big boys, the big girls, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. And so if we can notice it, pick up on it, ooh, that's a jealousy feeling. That's envy. That's a comparison feeling. This means you're on the right track, and it's an opportunity to get really present and go into that sensation, because this is going to be a guide to receiving the gifts from this transformative time. I'm just paying attention to see if to be connected to any comments that come through while I'm live. And if you are here and you want to ask questions or share, I will make sure that I see. Okay, wonderful. So I went through a really intense underworld shamanic journey, self-led, yesterday. And I met many underworld guides and creatures, and I received direct instructions and information for this coming time. And the number 44 kept coming up. I was asked to go on a 4 days silent fast. So to be silent, to fast from words, technology, messaging for 4 days. And I asked, could we do less days? And then I received 4-4. And so the instructions came through that doing a day of silence on 4-4 is going to be like 4 days of silence in one. So it's going to be really challenging, but it will bear the fruits that 4 days of silence will. So I wanted to share that with you to also invite you to do the same. If you've never taken a vow of silence before, it's very, very powerful and very challenging and brings up a lot. And in this specific challenge, I was clearly told that it's also like no technology and also no reading and no journaling either, and no singing. So this process is a deep inward process. And what's important if we choose to do something like this, that we get our friends and family on board with us, that we let them all know, we let our clients, our work, know that this is what we're doing on this day. And if you work Thursday, on 4-4, you could potentially do it another day. 4-8 would be another powerful day. And that's the day of the actual eclipse, is the 8th of April. I've been receiving that the portal for this solar eclipse opens on 4-4 and closes on 12-4, or the 12th of April. So we have this 8-day window of this really powerful eclipse energy, which eclipses are basically something is blocking the light so that we can really see the shadows, so that we can really do deep shadow work. This is what this time is about, is looking at the triggers, looking at the places where we don't let the light in, and letting the light in, opening ourselves up to it, facing our shadows while standing tall and open heart, right? So noticing those moments when you shrink. What makes you shrink? And that is exactly the doorway to the transformation that your heart is asking for. And so one of the things that's really important for this time is commitment, is your personal devotion to your path, to your journey of growth, of awakening, of truth, of being a living offering, of being a living altar for peace, of being a living altar for love. What does that mean to you? How do you become the offering? How does your body be a sanctuary, a vessel of light for others? And the only way we can really embody that is by going through the shadow. We all have to do our shadow work. Even the people in your life, you're like, wow, they're just like so happy all the time. They also need to do their shadow work, and they probably do. So let's just take a moment to feel into these energies and just reflect on the last few days. Wherever you're at right now, just feeling where you are on the earth, what room you're in. Where am I right now? Feel that you have a spine. You have cerebral spinal fluid flowing through your spine to your brain, your pineal gland, your pituitary gland. You have a beautiful brain, a beautiful breath, a beautiful heart that's beating right now. And seeing these last few days and just noticing any moments where you lost yourself in the intensity, where it became difficult and you shrank. And just sending love to those versions of you, those versions of us that shrink. And then sending love to the future versions of us moving through these next 2 weeks. See yourself moving through these next 2 weeks. And just sprinkling love all over your experience. May I trust the signs and synchronicities that come to me. May I choose to open my heart in moments of challenge. May I choose to be responsive more than reactive and choose collaboration over competition. May I choose my words wisely and speak words of love and non-judgment. May I respond non-emotionally to my loved ones and not take things as personally. And any other prayer that you have for yourself? Any other wish that you have for yourself for these coming 2 weeks? Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the 44th Gene Key. So I brought the Gene Keys book because my genius friend, Hila, I was at her house last night and I was telling her about my journey in the 4-4. And she was like, let's look at the Gene Keys and see what 44 is. And it's awesome because before, back in the day, before all hell broke loose, we used to do Gene Keys study sessions together. And so I was so excited, like she brought it out and I was like, yes, that's exactly what we love. We're like super nerds like that. So, and like how accurate this was with my shamanic journey to the underworld was insane. And I knew when we were reading this that I had to go live and I had to share this with you guys because it's so, so, so powerful. So the 4-4 is all about interrelationality. It's a moment in time where we get to up level our interrelationality, where there's an opportunity for more inner truth to what's truly in integrity with me. Because when we're not in integrity with ourselves, we attract relationships that are not in integrity. We operate at a certain fractal level. So the 44th gene key is the human fractal. It's the idea that you are a fractal of a story of a human experience, a human journey. And that fractal includes all of your past lives, all of your ancestry, your childhood, and your future. And all of those channels are different fractals that are connected to you in this very moment. And whatever energy you're picking up on from your past, from your ancestry, from your future, that's the fractal that you're vibrating on. And there's many layers of this fractal. Like there's always a different fractal connector point to connect to. So when you are operating at a certain level of integrity with yourself, you're connecting to a certain frequency from your past lives, certain archetypes and beings from your past life. You're connecting to a certain archetype of your ancestry. You're connecting to a certain archetype of your childhood, and you're connecting to a certain archetype of your future, depending on the level of integrity that you're at with yourself. Meaning, how aligned are your thoughts, words, actions, feelings, beliefs, and habits? How aligned are you with what you say and what you do? How aligned are you with your values and how you behave? How aligned are you with how you want to be treated to how you treat others? Right? And we all have work to do on this. There's no one who is perfect. Nobody. If you were perfect, you wouldn't be here. So all of us are being called to inquire honestly and vulnerably with ourselves. And you don't need to share it with anyone if you don't want to, but to be honest and vulnerable with ourselves. Where am I not in integrity with myself? And noticing that that level of integrity with yourself is what is attracting certain relationships in your life. So every conflict that you have in relation is a reflection of a certain level of integrity with yourself. It's just how it is. And it's freaking hard. And there's some relationships that won't be solved in this lifetime. There's some conflicts that won't be resolved. And there's some levels of integrity with ourselves that perhaps won't be totally fixed in this lifetime. Maybe we'll crack the code, maybe we won't. Okay? So there's a level of acceptance that is being called from us, like accepting where we're at, because this is also part of our journey, our soul's journey through this lifetime, through this eon, through these eons. So your vibe attracts your tribe. It's literal. And it starts here. There's like this collective knowing that if they fix things at the top, then we'll all be better. You know, if the governments are better, if the corporations are better, if the laws are better, then we'll be better. And the truth is that can't happen. That's not how it works. It has to go from the bottom up. It has to start within each one of us to create acceptance, peace, gratitude for what is, and then a serious inquiry into our own integrity. And so this 4-4 portal is called the queendom. It's the queendom. It's your opportunity. It's our opportunity to up level our own integrity so that we actually lift the fractal that we're connected to and that we connect to a new level, a new archetype from our past, right? We're no longer operating from the archetype of the people pleaser from our past, from our childhood, from our ancestry. Or for example, the like what's coming to me is like the show off. Like I put a mask on, like the masks or the facades that we can often put on in order to connect to a certain group of people or to look a certain way to people, that those masks actually create more distress in your relationships. And so there's a mask that we can all take off. Like each one of our masks will be a bit different. But when we can take off that mask, and when we do that and we claim that and we own that and we take that day of silence or we take that day of devotion, we have an opportunity to up-level our queendom, to connect to different archetypes, and then also to expand the community that we connect to find more soul tribe. Because it's impossible to deeply and intimately and lovingly connect to our soul tribe if we have serious integrity problems. So if you're frustrated with the people in your life, if you're frustrated with how people are treating you, if you're like confused as to why this person doesn't like you or something, look at the integrity with yourself. And this is what I am really, really working with. And it's freaking challenging. Like all of the things that I go through in my relationships are a reflection of me. And I know this is something that we all learn in therapy, right? And it seems like, well, we're co-creating this reality, so why isn't it like also up to them? And of course it is, but you can enroll them. You can enroll them into joining with you. And one thing one of my past therapists told me was, it only takes one. if you and your partner are in a pickle and in conflict, it's like you're in conflict. It only takes one person to find the peace and to like come at it from a non-judgmental, non-emotional way for the other person to then soften and open up to. It only takes one. And that's why it's so crucial that we start this grassroots, that we come to integrity from the inside and not look to the outside for integrity. Okay. So, it's so wild because on the last page of this Gene Key transmission from Richard Rudd, he says, wait, I'm going to find it. Okay. There's, when the 44th siddhi is present in a human being, so the siddhi is the superpower. The siddhi is the Christ consciousness that we can embody when we're like really clean and in full integrity. It's like, it's a capability for the human, and it's actually a gene expression. So most of our world right now is living in the gene expression of the shadow. And so it's important to work through the shadows, and the shadows lead us, have a path directly to the superpower. So we can go through the shadow in order to receive the gift from the shadow and then evolve our embodiment to a superpower. So when the 44th siddhi is present in a human being, then they see the entire tapestry of human interaction through time and space. They not only see it, but they dissolve into it. So this is when we start to realize that every human in our planet has their own fractal reality, right? Their own fractal past, present, future relationships. The way we interact with each other is a fractal, meaning that it repeats itself over and over again and creates these patterns. And it happens through time. So the consciousness within such a person is able to travel down every single fractal line within the cosmos. So this is like astral travel. We can connect to all beings. We remember the interconnectedness and the unity of all beings. Because there's no resistance within their vehicle. So a big part of this 44 is letting go of resistance. And that's what the integrity piece is about. Like looking with vulnerability into yourself to see where you're out of integrity. And that's where you find your resistance and your interference with your natural blueprint of well-being, and you become committed to that integrity. And that could be through new habits. It could be through the way you speak to yourself, the way you think, aligning thought, action, word, habit, belief, feeling. The secret to this is silence. Such a being has to fall into complete silence in order to hear the movement of every cell within the great hive of being. However, this 44th siddhi is about far more than just understanding the secrets of human destiny and the fractal patterns of time. And then it goes on to talk about the core fractal and the source code and connecting into the great central fractal of all beings and realizing that everything comes from that place, right? I just couldn't believe that it talked about sitting in silence. It was just like, whoa, like I just received that on the 4-4. I need to sit in silence. And that's what this is saying. And so I wanted to share this with you in an invitation to take a day or even a few hours of silence, being consciously silent on the 4-4, where you are not interacting and you're in full witness mode. And in this witness mode, you can really experience the resistance within your being and move it through so that you get to move in this world with more freedom, flexibility, joy, ease, grace, and love and devotion. So I hope this was helpful and powerful for you. And I'm wishing you a beautiful 4-4 portal and eclipse, the solar eclipse. We're right in that eclipse portal right now between the lunar and solar eclipse. So if you're having an intense time, I'm here with you. I'm loving you. I'm sending you so much love and good energy to be strong and stand tall in your challenges. And remember that it's part of your growth and part of your up level and part of your soul's mission here on earth. So thank you for joining me. And I wanted to close this with just a little update on how you can join me in the coming days and what I'm offering. So on Monday, I have a free global water prayer and water circle ceremony happening online on Zoom. It's at 7 p.m. Israel um, and 12 noon Eastern. And this is free. You can register for it. There's going to be a replay sent out as well. And this is for you if you want to connect more deeply with water, if you want to open up to the magic, miracles, and mystery of water, and remember our interconnectivity through your allyship with water, and up-level your manifestation powers and connectivity consciousness. So that's happening on April 1st. I'll pop the link below to register for live or replay. I'm also offering an in-person Water Priestess Day retreat on April 11th. So we're going to be in the midst of the portal and going to the sacred site in Israel to pray, to do some rituals by the water and to connect as women, and also to have an incredible feast. So I'd really love for you to join us for that. There's a couple spots left if you are in Israel. And then finally, I will be holding a 12-week Water Priestess training course. And so this is for you if you are ready to come into deeper integrity with yourself and want to be guided on this journey into connection with the waters of your body and the waters of our earth. I truly believe that this is a path to freedom and world peace. So I'm really excited about this course. I'm going to pop the link also below. And if you're interested in a priestess path, or you already feel that you are on a priestess path, and then this is a great addition to it because it brings the water element into it. If you run circles or you run classes, you can start adding in water ritual into your circles, and it just makes things much easier and much more powerful. Like I found once I started working with water in my circles and ceremonies, I felt like I actually had like a teammate there with me to help hold the space with me. And water is incredible at helping to hold the space, transmit energy, and connect the work that we're doing to the all, to the everything. That's what water does. It takes our manifestations and our prayers to the next level because it's a worldwide conscious being, which I'm going to teach more about. So I am going to teach a little bit in the free ceremony on Monday. And then we'll also be weaving a lot of our own prayers into the ceremony. So I'm going to really give an opportunity for you to bring out your own water's wisdom because your body is 99.6% water molecules. On a molecular level, you have mostly water molecules, and your water molecules hold the secrets, the fractal secrets of this reality. And so it's also what's going to happen in this priestess training is to help really uncover and unleash the wellspring of wisdom that is within you already. Okay? So I'm so excited to connect with you. I'll pop the links all below, so please check them out, and sending you so much love and so many blessings for a Shabbat Shalom. Have a beautiful weekend and blessings on this portal. Bye-bye.